Isn't he Mexican?
Colombian.
He calls himself American.
What is this?
Anchor Baby.
And in this corner, it's the American Anchor Baby.
Daddy's home.
That's an offensive term. People find that hurtful.
You mean it's not politically correct? Excuse me. I'll use the word anchor baby.
He's an anchor baby in Canada.
Tell him we still rolling with Trump, too.
Anchor baby, the whole thing sounds horrific. You're just making it sound like immigrants are these horrific, greedy people.
Ustedes pueden aceptar mi negocio o aceptar las consecuencias. Plata o plomo.
So you would be considered white, in my opinion.
You the blackest one in this room,
I think so.
And what happened was his mama got pregnant on the other side of the border. And then a few hours before, just before it was time for him to pop out, she jumped across the border and let him fall on American soil. So he became the anchor baby. They don't call him the anchor baby for nothing. Amazing.
We like this anchor baby, right?
Hello, I'm the American Anchor Baby, and this is my show. You're tuning in. Yes, he is live. Somehow he did it. Somehow he did it. He's live. He's live. He is live. How you doing, everybody? I am live right now, and we tried over there. Look, I'm in the studio. I'm in the chair. I'm wearing the Zelensky, full Zelensky, and I'm glad to be in the chair, to be honest. Those of you who were with me just some minutes ago, really not some minutes ago, it was a little while ago, a little longer than some minutes at this point, joining me earlier at the predetermined time for the stream. But whatever, technical stuff. I am with you now, 888-775-3773. If you want to talk to the Anchor Baby, you got to use the studio phone. I'm in the chair. So you got to use the studio number. If you want to talk to the Anchor Baby, 888-775-3773. I do want to, I got a show for you. I got some things I want to mention. I did watch DNC stuff. We saw some of it together. And besides other activities, we were doing some other activities that I don't know if Democrats would be too happy to hear about or see, even if they were in the virtual world. I don't know if they'd be too happy about that. I don't know. That might be illegal one day. I'm just saying, the type of fun... That sounds degenerate. The type of fun we were having last night is a type of fun that is just going to be illegal one day. And no, I'm not being gross. I'm talking about good old indentured servitude for the betterment of all people. In a virtual world, okay? It's a video game. We're playing around. Appreciate everybody joining me today. 𝒐𝒊, American Native Tab. Look, everybody here in the chat, thank you. Like I was teasing, we saw the DNC a little bit, saw a little bit more. Man, it's on display, folks. Like the how fake everything is. If you can get past your internal weariness, you could see it's really on stage just how fake everything is, how Jesse's been right for 30 years, and how the play is the female nature in all people, in both men and women. Coming by way of the women, not all women, right? we got some ladies paying attention, doing the work, going to God, etc. But where was I? Yeah, the play is the female nature. If you ask some people, the play was flood these places with immigrants, demographic change, turning it blue. Remember, California was red. But they proudly say it, these Democrats. They proudly talk about how they flipped it blue and how it will never be red again. And they say it thanks to immigration. They say this proudly. The Democrats in Georgia, the Democrats in even Florida lately. What? Texas, the Democrats in Texas. But yeah, Florida. But no, not Florida, right? Florida's never going to be blue. Never. They got a governor who's basically Trump, right? He was basically going to be Trump. And I'm just messing around. Ron DeSantis probably does a fine job. But hey, how is it turning blue under your watch? Is this a little bit of that? Who's that guy from Texas? Governor Greg Abbott. I just swear I'm protecting the border. Years go by. Gets blue. It's purple. It's purple. It's purple. It's blue now. No. I swear. I'm going to watch the border, guys. It's getting worse. It's getting worse. No. I'm a Republican. I really, really care. I really care. And it's getting worse. I don't want to go too far here. Some of these guys might be just fine fellas. But I got to point it out, right? You got to point out what's not working, right? You could say that about even the whole GOP. I know some of you even lob that towards Trump. I think it's a little misguided. You don't have the full story. It's a little unfair. But yeah, you can essentially say that. As much as the rah behind the immigration and all that, it's worse. Okay. Look, there are people really trying to hold on to that. But okay, some people thought that was the play. Flood demographics change. I'm not saying it isn't, but if you've been paying attention, the play is women and the female nature and all the female-minded men that will... that's their their ploy here. They're the eggs in the basket they are working on, and what they believe, and it just might bring them over the finish line. Okay, the Democrats, women, we have enough. Before it was, I don't know. We have enough. We have enough radical POCs and just blacks and people who are anti-America. Let's just go all out. America was never great. 1619 Project. Hillary Clinton, first woman president. It's time. Look at this misogynist. Whoa. Okay, sorry guys. Sorry. This is the Democrats. Okay, sorry. Oh, was that too far? Oop. Was that too much? Okay, bring it back. Let's just go as far as women. That'll be the Trojan horse. Do it for Mamala. Do it for Mamala. Do it for Mamala and do it for the betterment of society and unity. And, I don't know, stuff like that. Unity and the greater good. So many buzzwords at this DNC stuff. And there was all sorts of talking about, freedom from violence, and black voices need to be put ahead. You guys had Obama. You guys had did you hear the Obama speak? They're doing quite well. They're doing quite well. Civil rights and unions, those were the best things in America. This is the DNC. I'm kind of describing it a little bit with stuff I saw. Freedom. Huge. All the way from the Freedom Beyonce song, just, for the Democrats to, they just talk about freedom a lot. We need to be free. Test. Am I coming in funny? Test. Freedom. We just want freedom. So much freedom. We're patriots for freedom. But of course, the freedom is to be, it's the freedom to be a slave. And not the good kind. That's a joke. A slave to sin. I'm free. I should be free to wake up to my husband and nobody judge me. I should be free. This is the stuff they were running on, okay? But no real a lot of what people are calling vibes. The mainstream media they've gone full Gen Z. Have you noticed that? Is vibes a Gen Z word? Is it millennial? I don't know, but the media seems to pick up on these words real quick And I guess it used to be slang, I guess, was something that kind of leaves you. And you're like, oh, what's that? Oh, slang? That's what the young people are saying? The media, there's a new word, and they'll put it all over their articles in quotations like, look at us, the media, being cheeky. And it's like full-on cringy parents like, hey, son, you're getting, hey, son, hey there, son, that breakfast mom made is real good, huh? No cap. Wink, wink, huh there, son? Yeah, no shame. It's a lot of female writers too. But it's pure vibes. It's pure vibes. But then they'll bring up this guy who's like, hey, I'm a sports guy. Sports, and if I know anything about sports, you got to do the play. If you know anything about sports, I know a thing or two about sports. Total show. Delegate after delegate of these people who are, what they call them, delegates, okay? They got to give their delegates and nominate Kamala. You saw one after the other. It was a woman, black woman. And they tell us, we're making America, we're making the electorate, the delegates, all this stuff, we're making it as diverse as America. And I'm counting them, and I'm just like, this is way more than 13%. Last I checked, you know what I mean? They're saying, we're going to make it look like America. I mean, just look up the proportions, and you get black woman after black woman after black woman and woman. I'm like, someone do the math. Someone help me. Someone do the math. I think this is more than 13%. So pure vibes, but it's important. And this is what I mean by the play is, the strategy is, we'll just go woman with it. Okay, maybe we don't have enough immigrants. Maybe we have enough female-minded people. Just let's go full emotion. Just lie. When you lie to emotional people, you can lie very easily to emotional people. And just lie. Just tell them, hey, we're here. We're the Patriots. But they literally put on a cowboy hat and we're like, we're the Patriots. This democracy people hate you. And we're the Patriots. And we're going to keep you safe. And you're going to be able to go to school safely. What happened? Big hoodwinks going on, okay? And I saw some calls coming in, and you can call in if you'd like, 888-775-3773. Let me just do some of the hoodwinks. Let's see here. I think this will encapsulate some of what I mean. Besides the obvious that I already said, that so much of their platform is emotion and lies. And freedom means abortion. Freedom means let me be gay. And so let me try and encapsulate some of this, starting with this young lady. You may remember her, Amanda Gorman. How old is this lady? Young lady, 26, young lady. What the? Well, that's young, right? Amanda Gorman. And you may remember her because she did this speech. She's like this poet. She's one of those great American poets. And I don't mean like Nelly, like the president of the United Auto Workers said. I mean like a real poet, right? Right? This is like a real poet. Amanda Gorman. She spoke at the inauguration of Biden, no? Yes. She delivered her poem, The Hill We Climb, at the inauguration of Joe Biden. They brought her back. And if you remember, she went on stage with the Biden inauguration stuff to say a whole bunch of nothing, basically. A whole bunch of nothing, like, I had a single mother, and yes, we can. And it's the hill we must go over. We got to do it because it's right. And why is it right? Because it's good. And why is it good? Because it feels right. And it's this moment. And this moment, why does this moment matter? Because, well, Trump. I know I'm being maybe a little facetious and maybe totally butchering her, what she's about and what she talks about, but I honestly don't think I'm going that far in this realm of parody when I describe how this Amanda Gorman is. In fact, let me just show you. a little bit of her at the DNC. Let me see here. Let's see what we could do. Let's just play this from wherever I got it. Let's just start here. Wait, hold on. Amanda Gorman.
Of color, regardless of religion, class, or color. For what defines a patriot is not just our love of liberty, but our love for one another.
Hey, callers, you're on hold right now. Just there's no call screener, so just chill and appreciate the patience. I will get to calls. If you are hearing my voice, you are on hold. Thank you. Amanda Gorman.
Of liberty, but our love for one another. This is loud in our country's call because while we all love freedom, it is love that frees us all.
Wow.
Empathy emancipates, making us greater than hate or vanity. That is the American promise, powerful and pure. Divided, we cannot endure, but united, we can endeavor to humanize our democracy and endear democracy to humanity.
Wow. Stunning.
And make no mistake, cohering is the hardest task history ever wrote. But tomorrow is not written by our odds of hardship, but by the audacity of our hope, by the vitality of our vote.
What has she really said so far? Just go vote. We should be united.
Only now.
Wait, what did I just see? They're snapping.
Only now, approaching this rare air, are we
Wait,
aware that perhaps...
do they only snap for the black poets? I don't know. Someone's got to help me. Like, is this, we're at a jazz club? I don't know, guys. Come on. You guys were clapping for everybody else. Huh? No, I'm messing around. Maybe they were snapping for everybody.
The American dream is no dream at all, but instead a dare to dream together.
Wow. Okay, we're almost done. Don't worry. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this lady. Look at this lady. Look at her. Yes. Yes. Keep going. No, don't stop. I'm listening. Wait, hold on. I'm listening. No. Don't stop. Keep going. You're doing great. What the heck am I looking at?
Like a million roots tethered, branching up humbly, making one tree. This is our country from many, one, from battles won, our freedoms sung, our kingdom come has just begun.
We're almost done. She's a rapper. I was lying. I said she wasn't a rapper. I guess she is.
We redeem this sacred scene, ready for our journey from it. Together, we must birth this early republic and achieve an unearthly summit. Let us not just believe.
I think we get it, right? And look, this is important, okay? We must get past the cringe. This is important. We must push through. The more a broken system tells you that you can't, that it's impossible, the more you should keep pushing. Okay, maybe Trump didn't mean this, but I'm sure he meant even in these darkest of times. And I'm not talking about Amanda Gorman. I'm talking about just how false everybody is. It's not about her being a woman. And look, you have to be a nasty person and look in her eyes and be like, you did, and go like this. You have to think you're better than her. You have to think that you're better than this person to lie. This is a lie. This going like this to what she was saying, like that white woman who had her hands under her chin going like this, yes, I'm listening, is a lie. She said no words. She said no words, but she's like, let me show you how important what you're saying is. And it's not. It's not about, oh, she's a woman. It's about she said nothing. Can we be real? Can we be real, people? Show a little love. You got to be laughing. You got to be laughing at somebody. But anyways, look, she's well spoken. Someone says she has that Obama staccato. Obama staccato. That's a funny thing. I'm gonna add that to the repertoire. Hey, she's a well spoken. No, she's got like the skill. What do you call it? I don't know if she got trained or whatever, but the cadence and the way to grab the crowd and all that. Look, they ate it up. There was no substance, but it was a speech, right? It was a speech, and I'm sure that came with its own skill. I saw someone analyze Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's speech in a similar fashion and comparing just how much she's grown in that. And anyways, I don't know why I'm giving them points on their speaking skills. I think we can move on. The point remains: the world is so false, and they'd rather clamp away at nothing. Okay, but okay, they're having their DNC, Nick. They're having their DNC. They're gonna do this where they glaze each other and all that. Talk about something real, Nick. Okay, all right. Apparition in my mind. Tonight is the last day. I believe, yes. Tonight is the last day of this DNC business, and what one notable thing. To add to what I'm saying here, one notable person that will be speaking there is 𝒏𝒊𝒄𝒌𝒔𝒕𝒓𝒆𝒂𝒎. Not a name I necessarily know, but she is going to be speaking there tonight. Georgia's 𝒏𝒊𝒄𝒌𝒔𝒕𝒓𝒆𝒂𝒎, a prime speaking role on the last night of the DNC. And here's why it's significant, to really show how the play here, how the play is the female nature and how the female nature loves lies. And as you know, this is happening in Chicago. All sorts of crime, all sorts of stuff can be talked about. I heard people saying, trying to suggest that Trump should go to Chicago and be like, hey, mayor, you're having the DNC, you guys are doing all this stuff. Let me be the first to make a big stink and call you out directly. Why have you let Chicago? Why are you allowing Chicago to be a hellhole? And this guy's even worse than that little one. The little, some say cute. What was her name? Lori Lightfoot. This guy is worse than her. Brandon. Who's this guy? Brandon. Who is that guy? Brandon Chicago mayor. Come on, you know who I'm talking about. Brandon Johnson. He's even worse than Lori Lightfoot. So the city remains a hellscape of gang violence and crime and all that. And tonight, at the last night of the DNC, they finally, seemingly, have a sort of theme. They're actually going to talk about something other than hope and abortion. And it's gun violence. Imagine that. Gun violence in Chicago. How fitting. But is anyone going to ask? Right, is anyone going to ask, why are you letting all these black criminals out? Hey, I wonder if anyone at the DNC is going to stand up and say, hey, that's the crowd. Hey, welcome to the DNC, blah, blah, blah. And it's a pleasure to have you here. Let's talk about, so let's just lay it out there. Blacks hate whites, huh? So blacks like just totally hate whites, like pretty badly at this point, right? Said will never happen. Will never happen. 𝒏𝒊𝒄𝒌𝒔𝒕𝒓𝒆𝒂𝒎 is going to make a big old stink about gun violence. And, you know, this woman, apparently, she's been this Democrat in Georgia for years, decades even. And she's done this old song and dance a whole bunch of times before where she talks about safety, gun violence. Look, let me show you. Let me see what I can show you here. Just looking her up. You'll see 2 months ago. You'll see 2 years ago. The gun violence, the issue of our era. You'll see 1 year ago, gun violence, remarks on gun violence. You'll see 3 years ago, I'm losing hope because women. Oh, I have lots of hope because women. And maybe there's even gun violence in there. You understand what I'm saying here? I saw it 9 years ago. I saw it 5 years ago. She's a mom on a mission. So she's pretty good at this. And that's an interesting thing, right? Hey, she's a professional in this, okay? So who do you got to call? When you got to call someone on this, hey, maybe you call Lucy McBath. So I'm sure she's playing her part, but the part she's playing is totally evil. There's no one who's gonna ask, who's gonna put it out there. Hey, I'm making jokes. Oh, blacks hate whites. I'm bombastic, but let's really break it apart. I'm being totally honest. Blacks, the problem with all people, and what's on display more than ever, is this out of control criminal element that even blacks don't appreciate. Many just decent blacks don't appreciate. And you can't say anything. And I'm telling you, they're letting out some of the most violent people, just letting them walk. It's not like, we've detailed this on this show multiple times, but look, it's not just people picking out. Some of my callers think that this is what's happening. It's just like cherry picking a story of, well, look at what this black person did. Oh yeah, well, look at what this white person did. No. They're letting them out. They're letting them out. They are changing the laws to make it easier to leave them out. You got Kamala Harris. This is the same woman who supported all these rioters. To add to the real point here, that what's happening is the justification of anger. And there's no one who's going to get on that stage and say, hey, this anger has gone too far. It's leaving people dead. And most of the victims are black and all. Anyways, Lucy McBath is gonna go up there and talk about the victims of gun violence. It's a sham. It's an absolute sham. What else? A sham it is. It totally is. But it might work in terms of emotion. Look, they're going all in with the woman with the emotion thing. They don't need to get into the nitty-gritties, the realities of stuff. That really only will hurt them. If you can keep people, you just have to watch some of that together. You just have to go back and look at Michelle Obama's speech. Just resentful. Just a nasty, nasty person. Resentful to the bone. Oprah just blaming. And they say, it's so funny, they say, the other side wants to be full of grievances. Trump is this other side, they just want to be full of grievances. Oh, yeah? And then they go into they go into demonizing Trump and their opponents and totally staying quiet about, it's not like we tried to censor everybody for a decade and it's our body, our choice, and vaccine mandate. We tried what do you mean we tried forcing you vaccine, whatever? I don't remember that. Get out of here. We tried forcing you to take a untested, experimental, but very safe and effective. Hear me loud and clear. You're hearing me, right? Very safe and effective medical technology. Anyways, I'm ranting and raving. Tomorrow they're going to say I'm ranting and raving. I'm just ranting and raving about the DNC a little bit, okay? It's so fake. And I don't usually, okay? I don't usually, but I don't know. Politics is pretty interesting lately. Look, check this out. Let me go into just how fake it is. U.S. jobs, I mentioned this yesterday. U.S. jobs totals will likely be revised down by almost 1,818,000. You remember this. U.S. labor market was softer than many economists assumed over the last year. Oopsies. Oh, well, we just got a projection wrong. Way wrong, but whatever. Who's counting? A couple of extra zeros on our guess, whatever. Oh, it was published by all the news publications in support as another arm of the Democratic Party to bolster their lies. Don't worry about that. That's neither here nor there. The Labor Department said on Wednesday that the number of jobs the economy added in the year ending March 31st was likely 818,000 less than what was reflected in the monthly reports during that period. Wall Street analysts had projected that the department's preliminary revision would cut as many as 1 million jobs from the tallies reported between April 2023 and March 2024. The new data, they're weighing, the Federal Reserve is going to weigh different moves thanks to the data. Who knows what they'll do with the economy, but big revision. Huge revision. Job numbers. Yeah, that was an extra zero. Oopsies. But no fear. Nearly 1 million jobs created, quote unquote, since Kamala took office don't exist. And that's from the Labor
When you hear that, do you...
Oh, sorry. That's from the Labor Department, right? No fear. Well, no fear. Let's look to our elected officials for some guidance on this one, okay? I mean, what are we to make of this? What are we to make of this report, huh?
When you hear that, do you potentially think that this new numbers could be a liability for this campaign?
No. When I hear that, first of all, I don't believe it because I've never heard Donald Trump say anything truthful.
It is, though, from the Bureau of Labor.
I'm not familiar with that.
When you hear that, do you potentially...
Okay. I don't usually meme like that, but it was kind of fitting, right? A little Larry David action. Some Larry David action on the Italian. She's an Italian lady. A little Larry David. We got a little Larry David on her, okay? And that's the Curb Your Enthusiasm theme. Okay, we're talking about Gina Raimondo. Whatever. I'm adding too much to it. Gina Raimondo, American businesswoman, lawyer, politician. She's the United States Secretary of Commerce, right? She handles the economy a little bit. She handles the economy a little bit. That's just a lie, right? Gina Raimondo from the Labor Department. 1 million jobs gone. Let's just ignore that, right? Let's just totally ignore that. That's just Trump lies anyways, right? So, yeah, we'll see what happens with all that. There's no one falling for that, right? There's no one falling for that, right? You think we got the facts. We got the facts. Don't we have the facts? No? I mean, the facts will keep the people on our side, right? No. Emotions will be enough to fool people? No. Impossible. Impossible. Let me show you something here. There's people that, you go on X.com, and I swear maybe it's just because of my echo chamber, but you go to my neck of the woods on X.com, and I swear it's the earth is flat here. That's not really Biden. He's wearing a skin suit. I love the conspiracy theorists. Okay, a lot of them might be true, but they're just no evidence. Just that's a skin suit. Okay, that's a mask. That's not a real person. That's a plant. Tim Walz, that's a plant. This guy's not a real person. This guy's a test tube politician. This guy's not even real. Tim Walz. Well, to tie it all in with, is this really enough to fool people? Are people emotional enough and, demoralized enough to be fooled by pure emotion and words and just wordplay and like, he's a bad guy, he's mean, he's this, they're bad, they're mean, they're bad and mean, and they don't want you to have gay sex and abortions, right? Freedom, we're talking about freedom. And that's enough for people? Yes. The answer is yes, but let me show you. Let me show you your fellow Americans. Let me show you a little bit about your fellow Americans. And maybe we can not judge and call them skin suits and no, they're just liberals. They're not reptilians. They're not reptiles. They're not reptile aliens. They're just liberals. Okay? And there maybe there's evidence for the skin suits, but look, let me just show you something. They're not reptiles, they're just liberals. And yeah, they're even old liberals. Did you know this? Check it out. I want to show you this guy who spoke at the DNC last night. And he's relating to a lot of Americans with his in this little tiny snippet. This little tiny snippet I'm going to show you here. And this is Governor Jared Polis from Colorado, the Colorado governor, Jared Polis. No, I'm joking. It's Polis, maybe? Democrat. Let's watch the tiny moment.
Look, as a Redditor, gamer, entrepreneur, and Swiftie from the...
Let's play it again.
Look, as a Redditor, gamer, entrepreneur, and Swiftie from the free state of Colorado, I'm excited by Kamala Harris's vision for protecting and expanding our personal freedom, internet freedom, and economic freedom. Look.
Yeah. As a Redditor, let's go get that Redditor vote. Okay. You gotta call him beta real. Swiftie. You guys aren't Swifties? I wanted to show you your fellow American. And I heard this the other night, and I realized it's true. There's a lot of guys, like how old is Governor Jared Polis? He's 49 years old. How old is Tim Walz? Tim Walz is 60 years old, okay? This Governor Jared is 11 years younger, but are they both why am I blanking? Tim Walz, is he a boomer or is Tim Walz a boomer? Is Jared Polis basically a boomer? Are Kamala Harris and Tim Walz true baby boomers? Asks Bloomberg. But Tim Walz is like basically a boomer, right? And maybe Jared Polis is a younger boomer, but they're like boomers, right? And the point is there's a whole bunch of liberal A boomers in liberal A cities talking about hippie stuff and talking about let's see here. Let's see here. Hold on. Doing a little Googling. What the? But yeah, they're like, whatever. They're growing up in like the 70s and stuff, okay? Hippies and no war, man. No war, man. You can't do that. Okay? There's a whole bunch of boomers that are liberals and are Redditors. They're on Reddit and they're like, in 2016, they were like, I'm with her. Come on. there's a whole bunch of them. I'm trying to show you your fellow American, essentially, to kind of add to the point that, yeah, emotion, nothing real. They're trying to take away our democracy, and they're trying to. The government should stay out of your bedroom and your hospital and your, they should. No government should be in your bedroom. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of boomers like that. Okay, so yeah, yes, your fellow American, yes, this is kind of it's a little more competitive. Okay, then one would maybe think. Okay, you get it? That's all I'm trying to say. That's all I'm trying to say with that. Because he's a Redditor, a gamer, he's a entrepreneur and a Swiftie from the free state of Colorado. In fact, here we are on Reddit. Anyone listen to Governor Polis speak at the DNC? He said, as a Redditor, I had to listen to it twice because I thought I misheard it. I know he uses Reddit a bit, but was kind of surprised he brought it up on the DNC main stage. Yeah, he is a Redditor. I think he's even in the comments here. Oh, there he goes. Hi. Everyone get in here. Shh, be cool. So what's a state like you doing in a governor like this? Oh, crap, I wasn't cool. Redditors. Hey, that's cute, right? That's a cute joke. Are we going to be okay? Jared Paulus responds, maybe. Is that super millennial or whatever? Maybe. Maybe. This is the governor. Look, he's an internet guy, okay? He's a Redditor. He's getting the Reddit vote. Maybe I can has cheeseburger? Maybe if I can has cheeseburger, then maybe we save the country. Look, a lot of you might not even understand what I'm saying with that. That's like internet stuff. But I'm trying to describe your fellow American a little bit, okay? Oops. Just a little bit. 888-775-3773. But allow me to continue here. Oh, no, I think that's it. Your fellow Americans, I am deeply concerned. I'm laughing at the way you wrote that for some reason. We cannot allow this. I love the energy, Chaos Confessional. We cannot allow this. In ourselves, right? Chaos Confessional. What do you suggest we do? You getting a little militant in my chat. Hey, I'm not. Anyways. All right, where was I? Ranting and raving about the DNC. People so fake, happy to clamp along and put their face on their chin and lie to someone, make them feel good, like they're amazing. It's sick. It's sick. Terry, why are you not voting for Trump? I heard a little bit of that. I was doing some stuff there, Terry. I heard you called. I think you called Joel Friday, no? I heard Joel was giving you the business. For not voting Trump, and good for him. Terry, what are you doing? No, I'm messing around, but I didn't quite hear. Are you feeling a little not represented? Oh, sorry, my bad, Terry. You didn't say what? I thought you weren't voting. You were voting independent or something. My apologies. But I was just messing around with that because it's fine. It's fine. You're supposed to use your vote. I personally would rather ask. I'd rather ask before asking why. Well, why are you? What are you doing not voting for? I'll ask you first. I think I'd rather first ask you. Well, why do you feel not represented or whatever? I'd rather just ask the reasons because you're kind of supposed to use your vote like that. No, your vote is you're supposed to use your vote to friggin' make your voice heard in a sense, right? Let's leave it at that. Appreciate it, Becca. Thanks for that. Says nice haircut, neat. Oh no, you guys were talking about like letting women vote and stuff, I think. Anyways, check out Joel Friday TV. Let me get to, I'm going to get to calls here, 888-775-3773. I want to continue here, describe your fellow American a little bit more. And with this little segment on kidults, they call them kidults, and they are saving the toy industry. The toy industry is actually being propped up by what the industry themselves are calling kidults. Yeah. And we're going to get into it here. It's like, Jesse's been talking about your mama for 30 years, and people are like, confused. What does he mean? What do you mean forgive your mama? And now we got kidults. It should be clearer and clearer every day. We're going to keep hacking away at this. We're going to keep pushing the message. Eventually, maybe people will see, right? Maybe people will see it eventually. You do really have to forgive your mother. That really is the source of a lot of issues. Let's get to a caller, though. I don't have your name or where you're calling from. What's your name and where are you calling from? Let me unmute you. Go ahead.
Hello.
Terry.
Yes, it's me.
What's up, Terry?
I got it.
I know that voice signature.
Saying about me.
I know that voice signature. What do you mean? Who's saying who? Who's saying what?
You were saying lies and slanders about me.
I'm slandering Terry. What a mess.
You were like, why aren't you voting for Trump? I didn't say that.
Oh, I'm sorry about slandering you.
That was... Don't be putting things like that out there.
I'm sorry. I don't know what the heck I'm talking about. I heard you were talking about, like, taking the vote away from women, right?
I think we talked about a lot.
I think you talked about a lot of things.
And then I wanted to call back. But anyway, it's okay. I don't know. I wanted to make it clear that I will be endorsing and supporting Donald Trump for president.
Very cool.
This year. All right.
Very nice. You know why I even said that? I thought the call screener here, they're allowed to put a note on the callers. And I thought I saw the note say something about vote, whatever. Apologies. I'm not trying to slander you here.
I didn't agree with everything he was saying about voting third party. I don't think people should not vote third party if that's what they feel is best representing their politics. I do think that we have a really bad situation in our country with the two parties, and I don't think they accurately or effectively represent the American people. So I think building other parties would be a good idea and strategy. But I don't think, each election is kind of a different one, and I think this one is important. And I think Trump is kind of outside of the political mainstream.
Fair enough.
So I think he's a better choice just overall for our country.
Fair enough. Loud and clear. No, I personally, I essentially agree with that. Like, in how we should use our vote, even if I think it's wrong or whatever, that reality kind of should remain where that's how you use your vote, where how you feel represented. It'll send a message. Like Joe Rogan recently doing this thing with RFK, or even Nick Fuentes recently having his criticism of Trump. I think you could just have a conversation going from there. Like, hey, well, then why do you say that? But okay, let's go Trump.
Go Trump. Swifties for Trump.
I forgot what I was going to ask you, Terry.
You were going to ask me something?
I was. I forget.
I don't know.
I think it had to do with the conversation with Joel.
We went all over the place. I don't know. Was it a good conversation?
No,
I don't know.
It was interesting. I was also doing some stuff, but it was enough for, I kept trying to tune in despite being busy, but I think, I was just going to ask you something like, if all women stop voting tomorrow, would that be a net positive or a net negative?
All women everywhere?
In America.
All American women? Would it be a net positive? I don't care what women do with their vote, but I think we should have the enfranchisement to vote. So maybe it would be good for women to abstain from an election. And that could be their own kind of statement. I know it would make the country more conservative, definitely, if women didn't vote. But I still think, we're citizens and we're entitled to have a vote just in terms of our status.
I hear you. I hear about this repeal the 19th conversation, and there's a little bit of a LARP in there when I hear about it. If you understand me for a second, it feels a little bit like a LARP. Like you gather all the guys today and all the women, and we all get together and we're like, and then we Googled something from 100 years ago, and we're like, oh my gosh, look at how it was. Let's go back to that. There's something LARPy about that. There's something wrong in that. I don't even know how to describe it. It's just it's because look, it's devoid of reality. Because back then the women weren't voting for a reason. It wasn't just what they tell us today. Oh, men hated women and they just wanted to oppress them. No, it was the women voluntarily. They didn't want to go to war. It was a number of things. You understand?
That isn't true.
Is that not true?
Women, the movement for women to vote took, about 80 years, and women won the right to vote in multiple states before it ever became a national thing in America. So there was a lot of momentum built over time with women voting in different states. So I don't think that's true. I also don't
Wait, what's not true? What part?
That women were voting in many states prior to the 19th Amendment. So women were participating in elections and even electing presidents. And women weren't content.
But there was a time when they weren't, right?
What?
But at one point they weren't, right?
Weren't voting? Yeah. There was a point when they weren't voting.
And back then, when they weren't, it wasn't just what they tell us today. Oh, men just wanted to oppress women. No, the women, they even fought against the suffrage movement and all that, right?
Some women
right?
were anti-suffrage, but
and the fact that it didn't come about, and it took 80 years, and it took a whole bunch of work. It wasn't like everybody was all on board. Do you understand what I'm saying here?
Yeah, no, men were the ones who were politically enfranchised, and women didn't have any political status, nor did they have any rights.
This is where I'm trying to meet you in the middle, sort of. How am I trying to? Let me describe what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to meet you in the middle here.
This is a conversation that could go on forever.
Allow me to be concise, or at least attempt to be concise here. What I'm trying to meet in the middle specifically is that with the people today who are saying repeal the 19th. I feel like there was a different story back then, and there was different moving parts, and part of it was women were married and they had a different they maybe even agreed with their role more. To just suddenly impose that today would be
chaotic.
It would be chaotic, but not only that, it would be ignoring the fact that maybe this is just my opinion, but I think it's pretty factual that women were in agreeance. Okay, they were. That's just how it was. Okay, so to change it now would be, you don't have that woman, and you don't even have that kind of man anymore. So you're LARPing. Okay, you're trying to create a utopia that doesn't exist anymore.
Well, things weren't a utopia back then. It was awful.
Well, I don't know. I wasn't there. I wasn't there.
I know enough about the conditions of people's lives and how much, suffering that
in America, people had amazing lives.
America. Yeah, they did. But I mean, if you were a woman and you were being beaten and if you wanted to leave your husband, you basically had no rights to your children or any of your property. You basically left with the clothes on your back and became a pauper if you didn't have any other skills, which most women didn't. Life was terrible for a lot of women. They endured a lot of suffering, and women shouldn't have to endure that.
Yeah, but says you know what I mean? Says you, there's also a whole bunch of, there's also countless families who They had problems and all that, but countless families in America, totally opposite of what you're saying. Look, all I'm trying to say with that is that it's a LARP. It's a LARP. And we don't have those people here, and I think that would cause more issues. It's just not rational. It's not really in reality. It's a LARP, and you're trying to scalpel out a piece of history and paste it on today. Here's what I got. But that, you know what remains though, Terry? Although I'm meeting in the middle here, I think the ladies, they have their opinion nowadays and all that. They, I'm messing around a little bit, but they vote and that's fine for the most part. I think. Let's be real on something though. They do overwhelmingly vote wrong. Don't you agree? Like, let's put aside for a moment what women deserve and their rights and should they vote or not. Let's just say for the sake of conversation, we agree there. Women should vote and that shouldn't be taken away. Doesn't the statement remain true though that if every woman stopped voting today, it would be a net positive?
I don't know for sure. I can't say that for sure. Because I don't know that if they stopped voting
they vote overwhelmingly reason. Democrat.
You know what?
For example.
You know what, Nick? I need to bring up another point just to maybe add more context to this. The reality is most American women aren't voting, just like most American men aren't voting. Most Americans don't vote.
But the ones that are voting overwhelmingly Democrat. So wouldn't it be a net positive if they all stopped voting tomorrow?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
And look, Terry, that's less of... I'll let you finish. My apologies.
Yeah, I can't.
Let me slow down.
There with you. You're trying to guide me to something I feel like...
Are you feeling guided? Because this is less of a commentary.
I'm feeling led, and I'm like, is he leading me into hell right now?
No, I'm leading you to heaven, girl. Men are the head of all women, even unmarried ones. And but
even anchor babies.
Even anchor babies. Look, I'm messing around a little bit, but I'm messing around a bit. But look, isn't that an interesting commentary? And really, that's more of a commentary on just women today, as opposed to if they should vote or not. Because we could even leave that out. I could say that about blacks, for example. If every black stopped voting tomorrow, that would be a net positive. Look at how much they vote Democrat, like crazy, like 90+%. So before it's offensive and like, hey, well, they should be allowed to vote, that should still be an interesting commentary to reflect as to, well, why? What the heck? Why are we voting so wrong?
I don't know, but I mean, it's not as if, I mean, what are we talking about here? Because, again, I have an issue with both the Democrats and the Republicans. So we're talking about they vote Democrat. I'm like, well, if they voted Republican or it went more that way, I don't think the country would necessarily be better off or have a better soul. So I don't know that I agree.
But one side is, what are you talking about?
What do you mean?
You mean you're telling me it's unclear? It's unclear if what would be more of a net positive?
The rhinos are just as corrupt and godless,
sure.
And
just
I don't
as
know
corrupt.
that
No, I hear you. But like, if every black stopped voting Democrat tomorrow, that would be a net positive. What are you talking about? Come on, let's be real. That would be an absolute net positive. As fake as the Republicans are, as corrupt as they are, we would get Trump, for example. They want to like fix things and just do normal economic things. And
you're not getting me in on this, Nick. I don't know. No, I need to think about this one. I'm not gonna agree with you about these statements. You could have it out there, but I'm not gonna be like, yeah. Terry
thank you for no, I appreciate it. No, your call allowed me to get it out there. Honestly, you're a great sport. You're the best. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, you're pretty great too. Take care. Okay.
Call me again. Take care.
Bye.
Okay. Great sport. Just a great sport. Okay. But if it wouldn't it be a net positive? Isn't that just? Without even making a commentary on should they be allowed and what rights they have, let's just all agree. Blacks, women, everybody, you have the right to vote. But mathematically speaking, devoid of any emotion or any person, being personal, 1,000-yard view. We just took them out of the electorate, the blacks and the women. I think it would be. I'm positive it would be a very big net positive. Look, they're literally running on emotion. Yes, the Republicans are corrupt, and they got their problems, but they do their platitudes and their emotion too, but they're also talking about real stuff. Okay, like if we're gonna get political, let's be real at least, right? And the reality is they're talking about real things. The border, crime, etc. Kidults. Children that have stayed... Swifties for Trump. Children... Grown A kids... Kidults in the toy industry. You know it's a £1 billion industry in the UK. Toys for adults. Possibly a 15 billion industry globally. If I'm reading this correctly. And I see your calls coming in. If you are hearing my voice, you are on hold right now. We don't have a call screener, but no big D. 888-775-3773. If you are hearing the Anchor Baby's voice, you are on hold. I will be with you. We're talking about kidults propping up the children's toy industry. Yes, it's true. Oh, what the? You guys hear all that? Sorry, my bad. Excuse me. Jeez. I'm sorry. I had a Chipotle. Oh, my jeez. Okay, sorry. Low-hanging fruit. A fart joke, okay? Sue me, okay? Oh, it's a fart. Okay. Sue me. I'm trying to show you this. Kidults propping up the toy industry.
By inflation and a consumer. Now, the toy industry is currently being sustained by inflation and a consumer group called kidults. Kidults are adults who purchase and indulge in products, particularly toys and games, typically designed for children. Kidults account for 1/4 of all toy sales annually, approximately $9 billion, making them a significant growth driver in the toy sector. The NPD group notes that those aged 12 and older have boosted toy spending since the pandemic, leading to annual growth. Kidults love nostalgic cartoons and collectibles. Toy companies are creating dedicated lines to meet this demand. In the 70s and 80s, the toy industry, led by Star Wars in 1977, promoted fandom with toys and collectibles.
Okay.
Kids from the 70s and 80s, exposed to licensed
Jared Polis? Tim Waltz?
products, continue engaging with them into their 30 or 40 age. Toy companies produce content for kidults. Brands like Razor modify products, introducing adult versions like the Razor icon.
No way, bro.
Rambler.
Dude. Okay, that was some AI Asia news. Okay, so whatever. Sorry. Whatever. But it is facts. Like, I'm giving you facts, at least from The Face, CNBC, and other places. Talking billions of dollars, and not toys, specifically lines of toys and stuff that Mattel and other toy makers have created solely for these types of consumers who find nostalgia. Nostalgia, toxic nostalgia. Our society loves nostalgia. Have you noticed that all over TV and at the DNC maybe even a little bit? Look, I love nostalgia. Nostalgia is mama spirit. The spirit that kept you home. The same spirit that, not me. I don't know about y'all. Not me. I have my own issues. Okay? Tumbling around on my lonesome before 18. Meaning, I left home. But look, nostalgia, toxic, you don't want it. That'll kill you. Nostalgia will literally kill you. It will literally kill you. It's so sweet it will kill you. $35.3 billion globally, my bad. And all this accounts for 41% of the global toy market. So the kidults are they're keeping it going. The toy companies and it's not all. Here's where I want to pivot a little bit, because you're thinking right now, you're thinking Funko Pop. That's what you're thinking right now, right? You're thinking anime convention, smelly anime convention, incel. Okay, fine. It's a lot of that. But it's also a lot of something else, an emerging market. More in a moment. But you're thinking Funko Pops. You're thinking animes and okay, Funko Pops and Snake and Batman and Star Wars, right? Okay, fine. And maybe Warhammer. You know Warhammer, the tabletop game. Very expensive. You got to get all the parts, and you got to get all the little things, and you got to paint them. And it's not just all that. In fact, the overwhelming majority is not incels and anime dudes. Okay. Turns out it's the ladies. I know ladies, we're going hard. No, we're not. We're barely going hard on ladies today. Come on. And we love the ladies. Come on. We love them. If anybody loves them, we love them. And it's the ladies, actually, with little trinkets. Anybody have a Miffy plush? Or that just Japanese girls? Miffy plushes. And you got to collect them all. You got to get the Miffy plush. Anybody, where are the ladies at, huh? We got ladies in the chat, right? Ladies in the chat you guys got your Telfar, I don't know how you pronounce this, Telfar bags? Telfar bags? And you got to get the charms. You got to get all the little charms, and you got to get, Teletubbies is huge right now. I'm feeling like I want to hustle again. Like back in 20, back in 20 in I remember back in my day, back in 20, back in, let me think, March 20, they called it a pandemic, telling my kids. Yeah, I remember the gold rush of 20. Gold? Really, Dad? Gold? Grandpa? Like real gold? No, I'm talking, you ever heard of NVIDIA, old company named NVIDIA? Yeah, graphics cards were very expensive at the time. Everybody wanted to get their hands on them, but they said supply chain issues. Don't get me started on that. I'm feeling like I want to get some Teletubbies charms and get the bots going again. Should we activate the bots again? Start botting some of these sites? No, I'm just joking. I don't do that. It's the ladies. The ladies are it's a lady thing, right? Whatever. It's no big deal. But it's a funny thing because you hear it's like the incels, and they're buying toys. No. It's not even that deep. I'm not even trying to make it that deep of a point, besides the fact that 80% of marketing is towards women. Have you noticed that? Sorry, that's a fact. But have you noticed how the nostalgia, the DNC, the emotions, the advertising world, they know their demographic. They know their audience. They know their audience. The female nature. They know it well. They know it well. Is really all I'm trying to say with that one. And I do have calls about to get to you. If it's not immigration, if they couldn't do it with immigration and going woke and 1619 Project and all that. So it's okay. It's okay. We still got the ladies. We still got the women and the vasectomide, whatever. That's not a real word. Men at the DNC with their free vasectomies. Okay? That'll get us across the finish line. What a world we live in, huh? Look, let me get to calls. And I kind of want to tell you about women and video games here in a moment. Speaking of kidults, remember, there's look, fellas. Now it's on you, fellas. Gamers, hey gamers. You know what ladies don't like, huh? Maybe we can talk about it in a second. Should it matter? Hey, whatever. We'll talk about it in a second. But first, we have a caller. Your name and where are you calling from?
It's me, Nick. We love the ladies.
Hey. How you doing, sir? Welcome, Brian, out of North Carolina.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How you doing?
All is well, sir.
Right on, man. Hey, I just thought it was you talked about so much while I was on hold.
Yeah, man.
And it was hilarious. You said a lot of funny things there.
Thank you.
The call with Terry. Terry said she felt like you were guiding her. Hilarious.
Yeah, I was.
He's never been married, Terry, but he's guided millions and millions out of hell. I promise you.
Yes. I was
It's
just listening.
true. This is a good encompassed episode you got centered around something real tonight. The women and the mothers and forgiving the mother. And I wanted to call in earlier, but I'm glad I didn't because you said a lot of good things. And I just wanted to ask you. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but there's a movie called Coraline. Have you ever seen it?
Coraline sounds familiar. Is it the Tim Burton one, or Tim Burton looking movie? I really don't know.
I'm not sure. I'm not good with names of movie producers or anything like that. But
okay, I'm familiar with I'm looking at images. I'm kind of familiar with it. Never seen it.
Okay, well, you should check that movie. I just went and watched 3D today. I guess it was like a 15th anniversary or something. And I saw it differently this time than the last time I saw it. And it's just the way the movie describes or the way the movie displays the disorder in the home and the way Satan takes that and plays into the imagination and how it's all just taking place in the imagination. Just the whole shebang, man. It just brings it around. And it doesn't talk about forgiveness, but the movie implies that in the end. I think it's a good watch.
Nice, man. I might have to. I think it is Tim Burton, and it's got that style. It's cool, and Chad seems to be very appreciative of the recommendation. Coraline, very interesting.
Yeah.
And I don't want to. I guess I don't want to ruin it, but just looking at images, does the main character have a mother, an overbearing mother, even maybe? Or not so. Yes, yes, overbearing mother, which means overbearing. Okay, so I'll give you the family synopsis. Overbearing mother. So only child, overbearing mother, and super beta father. Fascinating.
And you see everything. You see how the father has this diminished love for the daughter, but he's beta to the mother, and the mother is just this woman that's running the household. She's the head of the finance. She's the head of everything, but she does nothing that a woman would do or should do, and she hinders the child from just being a child.
Fascinating, man. It's a good one. I'm going to check it out even maybe because, man, what Jesse has been saying, I got to bring it back, but Jesse's been saying this for 30 years, and it's like you peel back the layers, and it's just truer and truer. Where hell's coming from, why men are so weak. Yes, men are weak, and it seems more and more people are willing to talk about it, and I'm happy. Hey, let's talk about it. Yes, very weak. Big problem, as evil as it gets, and the destruction of society. But it's like, why? And it's like, for any of the ladies who are maybe like, yeah, men are so weak, look in the mirror a little bit. Where's the source? Who raised the men? It just becomes truer and truer the more I pay attention. You look at the Democratic, just to bring it back there too, the DNC and all that. It's more than just these people trying to get your votes. It's totally spiritual. And I saw someone else describe it like this, and I just knew that this is even further, is what Jesse's been saying. I heard it was Nick Fuentes actually who was describing it, and how if you're a white man, you literally cannot be a man in the Democratic Party. If you're on stage at the DNC and you're a white guy, or if you were somewhere on camera, you could be a male, but you have to be cucked to your wife. You have to be LGBT and like, yeah, the least of us. And you have to, if there's a black woman in your way, you got to give it all up to her. And okay, yeah, no, you could speak first. It's totally spiritual. And
you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy, Nick? Everything that you just said, it's amazing how it's either one way or the other. What you just described, you know, if you're seen at this thing, then you said you have to be, you know, this weak guy or cling to your wife and do all these things. But that's just what it is. And you don't see guys who aren't like that because there's no way it could be like that and they be on that side. It would be impossible.
Huh.
And being and doing the one way that it has to, there's one way it has to go, and going that one way I'm telling you, for a lot of men, I was like this too. I used to think so differently, but in order to go that way, you have to let go of all these ideas about the way things should go, and just let it go, just let it happen. You'll see how things that you never would have even thought to say or just whatever, you know, it's just what it is. It's what needs to happen.
Fascinating, man.
But yeah, I agree, man. It's amazing how Jesse's been talking about it for so long, and
truly,
it's just amazing, you know.
It is, man. It is
amazing.
It is because it feels like what was maybe hard to describe and demonstrate before is right in our face now. Right, many people listening heard Jesse say that, forgive your mother, and they're like, wow, yeah, I really do need to do that. I can see that I am angry, and that is evil, and I didn't know that. And so they go and forgive and all that. But it's a little harder to maybe describe, well, why is that bad for everybody? Why is that the order? Why is it upside down? Now, for those people, they don't need to, but now it's on display. You know what I mean? Now it's like in our faces that these people, what's coming out of here is weakness, nothing real, hate, blame, and victimhood, which won't, and no love at all. And how what they were telling us was no love, and how the people who had the toxic masculinity were the people you know, they were holding on maybe falsely to the last vestiges of what the source of love, and we were hoodwinked.
Right. Yeah, you know, Nick, I agree with that. I agree that it's on full display now, and it's kind of in everyone's face. But then I think I'm reminded about how hard it is to actually go and forgive your mother. Like, once you see that your mother's done all these things, and that's the reason why things are happening through the woman and all this stuff, actually going to forgive your mother is so hard. I know most people they're just not going to do it. And so what does that benefit us if we're seeing it? Do you think there's any benefit in people still seeing it but not really seeing it, if you know what I mean, or going there with it?
Nah, I don't think that's possible, what you're saying. Either you do or you don't. So
that's what I'm saying.
The paradox remains. The paradox remains that as more visible as it is than ever. And what I mean by visible, because sure, you might see you got to forgive in your life, but now we can see that, you know, I was saying this breeds the weakness it breeds, the type of men it breeds, and the lack of reality. These people will laugh, will look at it, will call you racist and be like, well, no, these are just new Americans coming in as the whole world, as the country falls apart. Like, that is the woman nature we're talking about. And so that despite all that being more on display than ever, the paradox remains, man. The people are blinder than ever. And I think they'll see it less paradoxically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As more,
I agree.
As it remains in your face and all that.
It's amazing.
Amazed. Man, Brian, call me again, sir.
Will do, man. Take care.
Take care. Rockin' calls, your name and where are you calling from? You're on the air.
Hola, Nick. This is Cisa.
What's up, Cisa? Welcome.
Hola. Sorry, my son has been getting into watching dinosaurs, so if you hear that crazy screaming in the back, that's him.
That's funny. What's your thing? You ever see those commercials? What's your thing? And that's a little kid with who likes the dinosaurs?
Well, yeah, it's dinosaurs for him.
Nice.
But anyway, thank you so much for taking my call. I love your show at this time.
Let's go.
At the later time. It's really nice.
Thanks for the comment.
You're welcome. I'm calling because something that Terry said I found very interesting. Oh, and first, somebody in the chat was asking about how they could go about scheduling a one-on-one session with Jesse. Do you have that link? Could somebody?
Yeah, big
could
time.
Somebody post it?
Rebuildingtheman.com or call 800-411-BOND, 800-411-2663. Let me also say that's like the toll-free number, but you can always just try the normal number, 323-782-1980. You call that number Monday through Friday, and front desk will set that up with you, okay? Counseling, like I said, rebuildingtheman.com, 323-782-1980, or the toll-free number, 800-411-BOND.
Awesome. Okay, thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
And you know what Terry was saying about the women, how much they suffered and the voting stuff?
Yes.
And your answer, you were like, says you. that was hilarious. Says you, but yeah.
Yeah, because I've heard that from like feminists before, and like I'm not saying Terry's an angry or feminist. I'm not saying that at all, but I've heard that from feminists, and they're angry, and angry people believe lies. So I'm like, whatever, says you.
Yes. So I'm not an expert at history or whatever, but what I've read so far is that because women knew that if they were destitute, if there was no husband, no family, they could literally starve. The job market was not very obviously abundant for them. That was why they were even more obedient and more cooperative, and they valued their family connections so much more than today. Like a 25, 22-year-old female leaving her family home and moving to New York City, that was a death sentence. That wasn't heard of.
I see. That's interesting.
So it was like a trap, obviously, and the women fell into it. But
what was the trap?
See what they in the 1920s, 1930s, you're a free woman. The independence, become independent, be strong. You can make your choices by yourself and blah blah. It was a trap because they didn't see that those guardrails were for their protection. They're for your protection. They're not trying to keep you down as a female. They're trying to protect you. The world is rough.
I see.
But anyway.
And was it rough? Was it rough? Was it like rough just like randomly, or was it rough because it was hard for them to find work?
I think both. Even in the Old Testament, in the Bible, I can't, quote statistics and historical, facts off the top of my head, but I know that even in the Bible, the story of, oh my God, Boaz and what was the girl's name?
Boaz and Ruth?
Ruth, yes, thank you. Even in that story, the husband died. Ruth's husband died, and the women, the widow and the mother-in-law, they were destitute. So what happened? They had to go back to their family. I don't remember where, but they had to go back to their family anyway.
They went back to other family and
to their extended family. Yeah. So they place much more importance and value in the family than we do now.
I understand a little bit. So it wasn't that so even back in biblical times, there was some where one might think, well, the job market for women is even worse back then. Or am I wrong? The job market for women might be even worse back then. Even back then, it wasn't a death sentence. It was more like a go back to your family sentence.
Exactly. Go back to your family. You have parents.
Okay.
You have cousins. You have uncles, aunts. That was your protection. That was your safety net.
Yeah, see, so it sounds like a little bit of an exaggeration and be like, oh, it's a death sentence and it was going to be a suffering. Now, I do have to say.
It was
Go ahead.
I think it was a death sentence if you were a bad woman that you wrote off your family, you burned all your bridges and stuff, and now you're really literally alone in the world because of you were born from somebody, unless you're like adopted and you literally have no one on earth, but I mean, you have somebody, so unless you burn your bridges, then yeah, it was a death sentence, but then again, that's kind of your fault, no?
Right, that's it. Very interesting. It didn't just happen. There's some part of it. You played some part of it in there, and I'm not, and it's not even me condemning this biblical woman who I'm not even. We're making up here. That's just how life went, I guess. And look, let's say I own a fishing business or something back in biblical times, and I got 7 spots for employees. I'm gonna fill them up with strapping lads. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm sorry to tell you. And I'm not happy about that. I'm not happy about hearing about this hypothetical, but whatever. I'm not sad about it either. I'll put it like this. It was a different time.
Right.
And because of that, that's also why I can't really, I also just look at my life. I didn't grow up in biblical times or whatever, and even in the women's suffrage. I grew up now. And the world I grew up in, the guys, they're not really marrying the women like they used to. The women, I heard they used to stay at home until they got married. Yeah, that. I've never seen that. I grew up in a life where I've never seen that. And so women kind of have to work, I guess. I don't know. There might be a future where it won't be like that, but that's the world I grew up in. Less of a commentary of what should be, but a commentary on just the reality of our situation and how LARPing might make it worse.
Right. Yeah, I lived with my mom until I got married.
See, there
and
you go.
I worked, but she spoiled me. I didn't have to pay bills or a lot of bills. So anyway, but yeah. Okay, thank you for taking my call, Nick.
Interesting stuff I didn't think about before. Thank you, C-Sal. Call me again.
Thank you. Okay, bye.
888-775-3773. Let's rock calls. Your name and where are you calling from? You're on the air.
How you don't have no empathy.
Hello?
No. I said a child of the trauma.
Hello, caller. Your name and where are you calling from?
Hey, how's it going?
What's up, Jaime? Is this Jaime?
Yeah.
How you doing, sir?
Hey,
appreciate your call. Go ahead.
What's up with the women, huh?
What's wrong with the ladies?
Hey, I've been watching the DNC convention.
Oh, yes.
And man, I'm starting to feel like I'm going to vote Kamala. It's nuts.
We lost Jaime, folks.
No, seriously.
How did it feel when they cut it off? Did it hurt?
Cut what off? Oh, it felt freeing. No, man. I've been watching day 3, and today's day 4, right? So I'm a little behind.
Yeah. In fact, it's going right now, no?
Yeah. But what they want, what their base wants, what their people that are voting for them want, and then listening to all that, because that's what these speakers, every speaker talks about what each person group wants. And it makes me think about how the Republicans kind of dropped the ball. How did they do that? How did they not accept these people to, move the Republican Party further? All being whether it's evil or not. Okay? I understand it's evil. But the people that are voting for the Democrats don't. You know what I'm saying? To stay in power, they lost the large portion of power the Republicans did by not catering to these people.
And you're saying cater to who specifically? Just Democrats, I guess?
Yeah, the voters. The voters that want this mess.
Oh, you're saying that want what mess?
Like the abortions and the transgender and the social issues. the Democrat voters, they don't care about the financial issues. Not really. They care about the social stuff,
right?
Which is foreign to me. You know, I care about what's going on with my paycheck and stuff like that. You know, and I look at it that way. Whereas when they talk about the borders and the migrants and all that, they talk about these are humans, and you know, well, yeah, they are. But when I think of that, I think this guy's going to take my job, or this guy's going to buy food products, and it's going to make it more expensive for me or harder to find, or they're going to be, you know, raising up my prices. But they don't think about that. They just think this is a human being and they deserve whatever. They deserve rights. They deserve... How did the Republicans not see that coming?
What would you suggest they should do?
I have no idea. I just saw that listening to this thing for 3 days.
Yeah.
And then for myself, how did I not see this coming? It's because I didn't look at the other side, what they wanted.
Well,
I just thought about my own side.
Well, think about it, man. This is their bread and butter, and if you watch what we were watching, their base eats that up. Their base eats that up. It's not facts. That doesn't matter. And so you're gonna have the people that eat it up. I mean, at some point you would compromise yourself to do too much of what you're saying. And if you ask certain people, I think myself included, at least partly, the Republicans really have done that, and they've ran to the middle on a lot of things. At the Republican National Convention, they too were doing the unity thing, and let's have diverse cultures pray and stuff. You know what I mean? So if you ask some people, they've done what you're saying and have even compromised themselves. You know, I guess this is the game of politics. I don't envy the people who have to navigate all that, but it's a mess. And you can see Kamala's side kind of navigating that too, with the bringing up the sports, and they got Tim Walz, and we're just patriots and we love America. You know, they were the America haters just a few years ago. We love America, and so you could see that as a strategic ploy for moderate America. Is that fair to say? Moderate America is also kind of white America. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, moderate America. They catered to moderate America. And, well, again, I've been watching 3 days of this stuff, and maybe I need to leave a space.
Yeah, man. Your brain's rotting, man. Your brain's rotting. Now I understand why you're about to vote Kamala. Yeah, man. Their base is going to eat that up, man. And they're just gone. They're just gone. What else can you do? They're gone.
That's why I had to call you to snap me out of it.
Yeah, they're gone. They're eating it up, and that's it. That's it with that. They're gonna vote Democrat, and that's why the race is a little closer, because here they are being strategic, trying to get white votes, but they are still very much so the anti-America, anti-white, bring down the pillars of America. No, how about say, bless you. Or sorry, what did they say the other day? They said something funny like, you know how they say pray however you want? But I think they said they added something to that recently. They said in a country where you can pray however you want, or not if you don't want to. Now they're adding, now they're also adding in don't pray at all. There's still very much that, and either you see it or you either see that or you're not voting, like Terry said.
Yeah. Hey, but what I've noticed in these conventions is they really push the get out there and register people to vote. And I do remember seeing Trump saying that a few times here and there. But I mean, these guys really push it. What's your opinion on that?
They push what though? I missed that.
Registering people to vote.
You mean the Democrats?
Out. Yeah.
So I mean,
but what do you think about that?
I don't have any prior knowledge on this, but one thing I did see is a heavy, just like mobilization push. We got to get off the sidelines. Literally every speaker was like, we got to, every door we knock, every little inch we take. Like they were really stressing that like grassroots, like it's not just us, it's all of us. You got to get out there type, put that work in mentality. And I saw a lot of that stressed at the DNC.
Yeah. Is that a good thing? Is that what?
I mean, I think it's a fine thing. I think that's how that's how politics gets done. I know a lot of, I still listen to a lot of people who were like door knocking for Trump in 2016, and I don't know what to say. I guess they're playing to win. They're playing for keeps, and that's just how you play the game. I mean, what else are you asking me here? That's how you do it. And I think they're playing for keeps. And they got a couple of things in their back pocket too, not just door knocking. Okay, let's go back to 2020. We'll leave it there. But you know what I mean?
Yeah. All right, I'm going to go to my prayer closet.
All right, sir. Pray it up.
Pray the Kamala away.
Restore your mind like the Bible said.
All right, have a good night.
All right, take care. Okay, folks, we're coming to a close here, and I wanted to get into some big boy stuff. We were talking about video games and kidults and a bunch of crap and a bunch of stuff, and so I thought this was the moment where I was going to segue into big boy stuff, and we're going to do a man topic. And I don't know why I'm saying it with a ridiculous voice like that. It is a cool thing, and it is manly. It's real energy, but we're going to have to maybe leave that for tomorrow. Energy, petroleum, natural gas, cobalt. Who has it? Why? Resources? War? I don't know what kind of tease that is, but we're going to have to leave that for another day. Okay, and Florida turning blue, the details, the primary losses, and maybe even a commentary on DeSantis and Republican GOP mentalities of today. We're going to leave that for tomorrow. Energy drinks. Maybe tomorrow, maybe Monday. We'll see what happens. We do have a nice flight tomorrow. You don't want to miss it. Anchor Baby Airlines. Get your seats. Get your tickets. First class or way in the back. I'll see you tomorrow, 4 p.m. Pacific time. Nick Stream Fridays. We're taking off. Let's see here. And I think that's it from me. Waiting on God, waiting on God. Shout out Wow Hassan. That's who sings that song. People saying it in my chat. That's why I'm saying it. I'm not just crazy. Okay, maybe I'm crazy, fine. But that moment wasn't just insanity. I'm reading my chat. And that's it from me. Y'all call me tomorrow. American Anchor Baby. I do appreciate it. Let me check something real quick right before I let y'all go. Becca earlier there, and I think Terry, was that from today or yesterday? Terry with the hot dog. Lizzie's in the chat. Thank you so much, Terry. I do appreciate it. All right. Thank you, rumble.com/American Anchor Baby. Appreciate D-Live peeps. That's it from me. Take care. Peace. Oh, and Lil Nick too. Bye.